This is really frustrating. Oh, can you hear me now? Beth? Oh, you can hear me. Oh, thank you. I don't know what happened then, but that's live. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being so patient. I just don't know what went wrong then. Literally, I haven't done anything different at all now. But what I did find here was timestamps. I can put timestamps on here now. So there you go. So I've just learned something, because a lot of people were saying, oh, they want to watch certain things and then they don't want to watch it all. So that's fine. Who wants to listen to me rabbiting on? So I've got some questions. Verna, hello. You need urgent advice. What? Our one cat urinates all over the house. You've got three cats, and she's the middle one, and she's the youngest, and the boy plays together and loves one another. Um, right. Okay. So, Verna, what you need to do first of all is get your little cat to the vets as soon as possible. It could be something medical that's going on. You can get a urine sample yourself, as if by magic. They have these little washable grains that you can put in a litter tray, and you can catch the cat's urine. And then I think I've got a little pipette here somewhere, or just imagine that you get a pipette, suck it up, and then take that sample over to the vet. So you need that as to get that as soon as possible, because if your cat hasn't done it before, then it's generally, something's going on. Either it could be behavioural, but you've got to rule out the medical symptoms first. Okay, that's really important, Berner. So, yeah, let me know how your cat gets on. And they normally always get on. So yeah, definitely urgent advice, because if you leave these and you're not actually checking on them all the time, then it could actually become an issue. Lovely Bev, my moderator, has said she thinks it was YouTube because the advert wasn't playing sound either. So Bluey and Kitty in Panama, we have you here. Oh, lovely. Welcome everybody. I feel really elated that I've been talking, and well, I'm not elated because I've been talking, you haven't heard me. I'm just elated that we've managed to sort it. Nicole, your cat eats plastic, everything. You've hidden plastic items, but he's now eating the plastic shower curtain. Does he have pica, or is he just bored? He does this only at night. This is pica. Pica is when a cat will eat something that has no nutritional value for them whatsoever. And obviously it can be really, really life threatening. Plastic tends to be a real big go-to for cats that have pica. It can be genetic. Some cats are predisposed to pica if they're oriental, Siamese, things like that. It could be neurological issues. That's a medical issue, so you'd have to go along to the vet and speak to them about that. But largely with pica, it tends to be behavioural. So it could be self-soothing, it could be boredom, anxiety, it could be learned behaviour. So I think working with a behaviourist would be really beneficial. Prevention is much better with pica. So you're doing the right thing by hiding everything plastic. I had a cat that it was actually Basil's brother, and he would eat anything plastic. And I first noticed it when he was a kitten, and he was eating the plastic off a milk bottle carton. And from then on, it was carrier bags, anything. And he was just a really, really very highly intelligent and active cat, but he also had neurological issues. Unfortunately, he passed away from having many, many fits. So that was obviously the trigger for him. But it's don't ever ignore pica, because it can be life threatening. Yeah, Verna, you're right to be worried. I mean, I'm not going to alarm you, but go get a urine sample as soon as possible, because if you can rule out idiopathic reasons, cystitis, things like that, then you do know more likely to be behavioural. Okay. So Nicole, good luck with your cat eating plastic. If he does it only at night, by the way, it might be worthwhile setting up little activities for him at night. So if you've got an Echo app, setting up Pet Buddy, or putting a radio on, so that can keep them occupied, company overnight. And then also set up puzzle feeders, and timed feeders can be really good. The ones with 4 compartments, and then put little toys in them and treats, and they can perhaps go off at random times during the night. Something like this would be quite good as well. This is actually a dog toy, but you could pop some kibble in there if they do get kibble or treats. And get that in there. And you could even put a stinky dried fish in there. It wouldn't come out, obviously, but the smell of it would really, really get the cats active. And when I mean stinky dried fish, I mean stinky dried fish. Don't worry, they are in the jar, and they do stink. So hope that helps anyway. And you're welcome, Nicole. Also, if you go and have a look on my TikTok page or my YouTube, I've got some other videos on there just about enrichment and boredom and things like that. So, Spicy Babe, what does it mean if my calico cat is of 10 months is always following me, but literally everywhere she does? Oh, that's really lovely. Well, she's hyper bonded to you, that's all. So take it as a compliment. Some cats do get over attached. So the one thing you have to watch for there. Oh, there was just, who missed that? There was a cat here, and I didn't know whether it was, God, I need to get my glasses tested. I was thinking, is it Hugo or is it Sydney? Because they both look the same. So Hugo, come on. So yeah, I mean, she could get over attached, but she's still a baby, and that's absolutely lovely. She's just bonded to you, so that's really, really lovely. Jeff's Torty did the same thing, and she does it now, but not as much. She's about 2.5. Basil is 18. Oh gosh, come on, big boy. There you go. And he follows me everywhere, but I think that's largely dementia, because he's forgotten he's followed me, so he follows me again. That's Basil, and that's dementia. I was actually starting to talk about spring, and I don't know whether you've got nice weather where you are. Spring is started to spring is sprunging here in the UK, and we've had a few nice sunny days. It's still only been about 12 or 13, but that's still been nice. And you'll find that those of you that haven't got cats neutered, they will start to come into estrus, female cats particularly. So it's so important to understand the reasons why we should neuter our cats, for not just behavioural reasons, but also for medical reasons. And entire female cats can get deadly infections of the uterus, which can be life-threatening for them. So that's a real big reason, isn't it, to get your cats neutered. And then think about all the kittens that are going to be clogging up the rescue centres and the shelters. And there seems to be, or there used to be, an old wives' tale that your cat must have a litter of kittens before you have it spayed or neutered, and that's not the case at all. And with male cats, if they aren't neutered, then they are more likely going to want to get out. They're going to fight for territory, they're going to fight for females, and they're going to wander far and wide to find the females to mate with. So that's a big reason to get your cats neutered now. And the behavioural aspects of a female. Have any of you ever encountered a female in estrus or in heat? They are relentless, posturing and yelling and screaming at all hours of the night. And then obviously you're going to get the male cats coming around spraying everywhere, and your male cat, if it isn't neutered, will probably be spraying as well. Yeah, Bev, you've heard it. It's awful. There used to be around in our village, there used to be an unneutered female, and she was wandering around all night, all through the night, screaming for a mate, and it was really, really awful. So yeah, please pass on the message for anybody who hasn't got the cat neutered. Please pass on the message from me that neutering can save the life, as well as reduce the amount of unwanted kittens that are born. Yeah, and it's really frustrating, isn't it, when neighbours' cats keep you awake when they're in estrus or just howling for a female. Um, Your cat, Jeff, your cat's recently decided that she doesn't like the food she's been eating for a while. She will still eat now, but gives me an attitude with what I offer. Is that common? Yes, it is, Jeff, because some types of cat food don't have batch consistency. So when they do one batch, that your cat might like that batch because it'll have a different ratio of ingredients, different quality of ingredients, and so on. And then you buy another box or another load and it's just not the same, so your cat won't eat it. So that's really frustrating for cat parents, but it is really, really common. So the way to avoid that is to find a brand that has batch consistency all the time. So something like I'm not associated with any brands, by the way, apart from Catkin in the UK, and I'm sure if you're in the States you won't have that over there. A dried Royal Canin and other dried food will definitely have batch consistency, but certainly some of the wet food brands, especially the ones that you can get from Target and places like that, they won't have the same batch consistency there. Spicy baby cat for the first time came to my chest and around my arms. Usually she'll always be around my legs and sitting, especially where there's a pillow. Oh, that's so sweet. If I'm reclining if I ever get the time, Basil always chooses to sit on my head, and then I'll have Noodle here, and then I'm cat trapped. I can't move, and that's my excuse, so I'm sticking to it. Has anybody been spring cleaning in the home? Because it's the time when everybody suddenly starts to come alive and they feel more energetic. And what products are you using to clean your house in the spring? One thing that you should try and avoid is obviously things, high level disinfectants and things that don't fully dry. Cats get them on the paws or bleach, then that can be corrosive to the cat's paws if you do putting it on floors. So I'd always recommend using real organic, safe products, cleaning products. So don't overlook them. And also keep those safe as well, because cats don't have the sweet receptor. And it's just like cats will drink antifreeze and then they suddenly become really, really poorly and die because they've been poisoned. And it's the same with household cleaning products. So just like if you have a toddler in the house, make sure that you lock all those cleaning products away, and if possible use organic and safe, friendly. So I'm just looking at this Spicy Babe. I went mute then, didn't I, for the second time tonight? How regularly should I wash my cats? Yeah. Um, Cats don't need to be washed unless you've got a naked or a Sphinx cat. Then they don't have fur, obviously, to get all of their oils off them, so they do need regular bathing. But if you've got a cat, there shouldn't be any reason for you to bath your cat unless you're taking it off to a show and you want to get it all floofy, looking its best. And generally, show cats are so well habituated to the regular bathing rituals that the breeders and the show competitors will start them right from a very early age, from a kitten, so it's not stressful for them at all. But to bath your cat can be really, really stressful, and they instinctively start to worry when their coats get wet because it weighs them down and they can't run away. And obviously, if you're going to bath them, I've seen some awful sort of like shower bags that they put the cat's legs in and then they suspend it, and then it's just awful. There's no need to bath your cat unless your cat is getting dirty or something. Then water wipes would be quite good, or just a flannel and wipe your cat down, but a little bit at a time. One thing that is quite good, and I know you can get this in the States, is Pet Remedy. You see, I must have known that you were going to ask this question, Spicy Babe. So this is what it says on the tin. It's a de-stress and calming foaming quick wash. I'll show you what it's like. There you go. And literally all you do is do that. Groom your cat with that. It smells delicious. And then you can even have this the massager as well, and massage it in. And then that's really calming. So the cats don't mind that at all. I've got nowhere to wipe that now. I'll put it on a snuffle mat. Cats will like it. There you go. Just put it on there. So that's quite good to keep your cats. It will degrease your cat's coat, and it dries really quick, and it works, and it breaks down all the fat and dirt in your cats. So hopefully that will perhaps help. Bev, if you want to pop in the link for Pet Remedy, and I do know you can get Pet Remedy in the States. So whether this link will still work, I don't know, but you could give it a go. It does give you a discount. You have those at home. I did this to my cat 6 months ago. Should I do it regularly? Spicy Babe, do you mean washing? No, hopefully I've answered that for you anyway. There shouldn't be any need to wash your cat. You could spring clean your cat, but you could spring clean your cat in other ways. So what I like to do is regularly to give the cat a good body check. So when they're sitting next to you, or if they're sitting on your knee, have that time to literally give them a little bit of a massage if they'll let you, and check everywhere. So check them for lumps and bumps, which they do tend to get as they get older. And then you could perhaps give them a little paw massage and think about any claw trimming that might need doing. So do keep your eye on cats.com, because they've got some interesting content coming out very soon. I won't say any more because it's a bit of a surprise, but you might recognize somebody on there. A few people on there actually. So think about spring cleaning your house safely, and think about spring cleaning your cats. Not at all. Thank you, Bev, for popping that in. And then if anybody's going on spring break, I know that's coming up quite soon, isn't it? The end of March, early April. This is what I was saying before when the volume didn't work. Think about setting up your arrangements for your pet sitter or your cattery. What do you guys do? Do you have a preference? Do you prefer cat sitters, or do you prefer catteries? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a chat about that, because I know if you can get a brilliant cat sitter, then absolutely fabulous. And think about getting your cat ready to travel as well. So not just putting your cat in the carrier straight away, but thinking about how you can get your cat used to the carrier being part of the furniture in the home the whole time, so it just doesn't suddenly get worried and think, oh my goodness, I'm off to somewhere horrible, or I'm off to the vets. What I did, I trained my Bengals. Literally, I bring the carriers out and they just run in them straight away. So they train, because I started off with a little safe space, and what I used for my safe space was actually this mat, and I put treats on the mat. So so the cats then knew that on here was always treats, and then this mat started to move into the carrier. And so then they go straight into the carrier, because they thought we were getting treats. And sometimes there was treats and sometimes there wasn't. It was a bit like roulette. And now they're so happy going into there, because it's their safe space. So it's a little treat for them when I bring the carriers out all the time. And Pudding's just come to say hello now. There you go. That's good. Now it's got rid of all that Pet Remedy. Spicy Baby, got that foam at home. You did that to us. Oh, that's brilliant. So something like that you can do as and when, because it's actually quite soothing for them as well. So don't worry about it. I thought if you were dunking them in the bath or under the shower or something. And Bev, Grandma looks after Vesper and Goose. But when we move, you're moving somewhere where there's good cat sitter service. Oh, that's brilliant. When are you moving, Bev? I didn't realise you were, going quite soon. Jeff, when you got your first kitten, you'd drive around the neighbourhood in a carrier, so it became a normal thing. And now her carrier is a safe space if we venture out. That's absolutely brilliant. Hello, little lady Pudding. There you go. Pudding, Bev saying hello to you. Jeff, that's a brilliant way to do that for your cat training, because that's another thing with the carrier training. If you wanted to get them in, used to going in there, once that they're in the carrier, then you'd zip it up and you'd walk it to the front door and then come back again, and that would be it. And then you do that a few times, obviously with lots of praise, positive reward and treats and so on. And then you'd put them in the car and you wouldn't go anywhere, and do that, and then you'd start the engine and still not go anywhere, and then you would reverse on and off you drive, and we wouldn't go anywhere. And each time they get lots of treats and praise and so on, and then eventually doing what you do, Jeff, just drive them round, so they become really, really happy. Hugo's found a puzzle feeder with some treats in, so he's knocking that around on the floor. Spicy Babe, you've always wondered if our cat knows that we love them, and also my cat loves snacks a lot. She's such a princess, but I know it's bad for her. But as a mummy of my cat, I sometimes can't resist. You know what? There are some great alternatives if you don't want to just give McDonald's treats all the time. If you go on to Amazon, I don't know whether you can see. Can you see that orange box there? Hang on. There. That is Catkin Nibbles, and they do it in salmon. It's freeze-dried salmon and freeze-dried chicken, and really low in calories, but it's all protein. It's really, really good. So you can get those. Oh, and then out you go. Typical cat. Open the door, close the door. That's Hugo. He's gone out. 2-second rule. He'll be back in. You've got to, Bev saying saving for a deposit. Yeah, you will be saving a while for a 20k deposit. It's crazy, isn't it? House prices. Strat, how do you find an honest vet? Here they're all corporate and only care about big money. Whereabouts are you, Strat? I know it's I have heard that said before, but at the end of the day, Strat, when vets go to learn to become a vet, they do it because they love animals and they're passionate about animals and they want to save animals. But you're in Florida. Oh, how amazing. Space Coast, Florida. Awesome. And unfortunately, the bigger companies have bought out all of the smaller practices. And so the actual practitioners, the clinicians themselves, don't have a choice of how much they can charge. It is down to the corporate companies. But they are all honest. I mean, I've met hundreds of vets, and I've never ever met a vet that wasn't honest and just charged because they could. They don't have bonuses and things like that, and they work really, really hard. So I'm proper on team vet because I know how difficult their job can be, and it's just maybe the corporate. If you can get a vet, a local vet or something like that, you will be lucky. I've got corporate vets by me, but I have to say they are really, really good. And it's just like having private healthcare, isn't it? You don't get a second chance with your animals. So if my cat's ill, I don't care what the vet charges me. I'm going to pay it. Bev's saying, where do you live? Must leave for business meeting, but look, Rennie, that's lovely, and keep advocating for spay and neuter. We have a low cost service here in San Diego called Snap. Most cities have these services. That's brilliant. Enjoy your meeting, Renee, and maybe watch it on catch up, and you can put any questions in, and I will be back next month, hopefully. Have a good meeting. Annabelle, if a vet was in it for money, they wouldn't be a vet. Yeah, exactly. Jennifer, mid-Atlantic US. Strat, you've got a tiny traumatized orange girl with feral with a huge running mate now. So her mate passed last year, but you've got a tiny traumatized kitty. Is she neutered, Strat? If it's anxiety and things like that, I can give you some tips. And also, if you go onto my TikTok account or my own YouTube account, that you will find some videos on stress and anxiety. I'll be honest, I'm not very good on YouTube putting them all into playlists, but have on TikTok right from the beginning. Spicy Babe's in Belgium, and she got all the vaccines. She got spayed, got a chip, and she'll go for yearly control in 2 months. And she's got a GPS tracker when she goes out. Perfect. In the UK now, it's law that you have to have your cat microchipped. And it's really, really good to get your cat microchipped anyway. So if they do wander off, then at least then somebody can find them and return them to you. And is anybody celebrating Easter? Because something that we have here, obviously, I don't know how it is for you guys in the States, but we have a lot of chocolate at Easter and we have a lot of flowers, both of which are really toxic for cats. So please be mindful with chocolate in the home for cats and plants. So you spring plants, anything in a bulb, hyacinths, tulips, daffodils, and obviously lilies are really, really toxic. And the Easter stargazer lilies, Easter lilies, they're beautiful, but the whole part of the plant is toxic for cats, even the water that it sits in. Now, I was scrolling on Facebook the other day, and there was this beautiful ragdoll kitty, and somebody had she got covered in orange here, and somebody had said, "Oh, my cat's she's turned herself orange with the pollen from the. Do you think she'll be okay?" And I was like mortified, because it's serious. It kills cats, and it kills them very, very quickly. So please be careful. And again, on my TikTok and definitely on my YouTube and on my Facebook page, there's a thing about lilies and cats do not mix. It's big my big passion to try and stop people from buying plants in the home if you've got cats. Oh gosh, Spicy Babe, there's so many flowers and plants that are toxic for cats. But basically, if you look at anything, lilies, I've said anything with a bulb, I basically wouldn't have any flowers. If you've got cats, I wouldn't have any flowers in the house. So that's what I do. If you're going to have flowers, have artificial ones or faux ones, but then make sure that the cats don't have pica and eat them. So best just don't have plants, or have them in a room where the cats don't go, or just have there you go, faux ones like that. Or I don't know whether you can see, I've got a terrarium there, and good luck getting to that, cats, because you're not going to get into there. So yes, and now it's all the flowers start coming into bloom, and it's the same in gardens. People have lilies in gardens, and if you have a cat that goes roaming, and if it ever comes back home and it's got lily pollen on it, then do pop over, get your cat to the vet as soon as possible. You just challenged Hugo. You'll be back in a minute. So think about chocolate and keeping it away from cats, because it is toxic. One of the supermarkets in the UK did Easter eggs for cats. And it wasn't. It was a cat food supplier did Easter eggs for cats, and it really rattled my bars, because it was chocolate that was safe for cats, or it was made in a way that it was safe for cats. Easter egg for cats. Sorry, let me get my facts right. It was an Easter egg for cats, but it wasn't chocolate. I know dogs have dog safe chocolate. So they did those for the dogs, and then they did Easter egg shaped treats for cats. And I think that sort of gave a message to some people who didn't know, maybe, that it was okay to give chocolate to cats. They perhaps could have walked past and seen, oh, they do Easter eggs for cats. Oh, I'll give them a bit of my chocolate. Bev, yeah, so that's what was referring to, actually, a well-known pet shop that was doing it. And it really upset me, because obviously I know, and I can pass the message on to people such as you who are watching, and now you know. But what about all those people that don't know, and they just think, oh yeah, well, cats and dogs can have Easter eggs? So yeah, that's another thing. So I'm really ruining your spring break and your Easter, aren't I, at the minute? Because there's no flowers in the house, there's no chocolate, um, and there's no harmful chemicals. So you just have to stay home and spring clean with environmentally friendly chemicals everywhere. Yeah, Bev, that's right. The advent calendars are chocolate too, and it really does, upset me really. Hi, Nicole again. How do you get adult cats used to nail clipping, carrier trips, toothbrushing? My cats are 3 years old, and they weren't introduced to carriers, nail clipping when they were kittens. Well, I said about a little teaser, a little surprise that you might all be getting. Keep your eyes peeled at cats.com, because all your answers may be all your questions there may be answered. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. Spicy baby, you're always hiding your chocolates when your cat comes nearby. I'm always hiding my chocolate when my husband comes by, because I have to hide it because he'll eat it. The other thing as well, raisins as well. I mean, I know we talked about that at Christmas, didn't we? But as the weather gets warmer, think about hydrating your cats, making sure that they've got plenty of running water. Water fountains are excellent. You're back in again, Hugo. Water fountains are really good. And Royal Canin even do a hydrate wet food as well, which obviously you could get any wet food and add more water to it. You can make ice cubes. Again, there's summer weather tips, but just because the weather starts to heat up, don't leave your cat unattended with no water. So make sure they've always got a water source. Have you ever felt really thirsty and you can't get to water? And I'm always worried about that with my cats and my chickens. I always want them to have plenty of water, because I hate not having a drink of water. I'm now going to have a drink of water. Do you want a drink of water, Hugo? So yeah, so thinking about making sure your cat gets hydrated plenty. I haven't had any answers. What are you all doing for your pet sitters then? Pet sitters, spring break, what are you doing? Cattery, Dominic, hi. What are your thoughts on all the high-end cat foods in the UK? Catkin, Untamed, Zooey. Great question. So, true transparency here, I'm a Catkin brand ambassador. So I'm obviously going to be very pro Catkin. That being said, I will not associate myself with any brand, full stop, if I don't think it's ethically produced and it's actually good for the animals. So I feed catkin, but I don't feed exclusively catkin. And I know part of the marketing strategy is that dry kibble is the devil. Sorry, catkin, if you're watching this on catch up, but I'm always going to be really honest with everybody. I like to use dry food for enrichment, because it's so positive, and obviously with your wet food such as catkin. And I did try Untamed, Dominic, but my cats didn't like it. So with catkin, certainly Basil loves it, and he's now 18. Hugo, he will eat it if the sprinkles on top. He's a bit fussy, and he doesn't like all of the flavors. But again, it's personal choice, isn't it? I don't like certain things, so you just have to find what they like. But it does have batch consistency. One of the fails, I think, what people do with catkin, they just go, okay, you've been having Felix or Whiskers or whatever, and then we're going to give you catkin. And cat's going to just turn the nose up at it, because it hasn't got palatability enhancers in it that the others have, the additives. So it's the equivalent of us having beautiful loaded pizza. Think of the best flavour ever. and then you literally have a few lettuce leaves and maybe just chicken or whatever, but there's no sauce on it, there's nothing. Your palate will be, your taste buds will be expecting those enhancers, and if they're not there, you're not going to want it. And if somebody says, well, okay, you can have your party food again, then you're going to want that. It's like having a diet of McDonald's and then going just to a dry bread. You're not going to want dry bread. I'm not going to say that that's actually going to much sustenance for you, but that's the thing with the palatability enhancers in McDonald's, and that's what's in those cat foods. So once you've done the transition, do it very, very slowly, and just do it a bit at a time. Don't think, oh, I've got to open up the whole packet. The packets that cat can come in, I'd quarter that and just get them used to it a little bit at a time. So I've not tried seaweed. But fresh is the new alternative. It's always been dry or raw, and now it's fresh. And I definitely think fresh is good, but I like to feed it alongside a dry. Bev, is there a special club all of these fantastic cat lovers may also want to join too? I think there might be, Bev, actually. Do you? There is actually. So I don't know whether anybody watched one of my very, very earlier lives I did. And I think it must have been in about October last year. And I was talking at this event, the Cat Show Live. And now the Cat Show Live have actually brought about a Cat Show Live Cat Club, and it's phenomenal. So it's going to be great resources, different speakers, different things that there'll be video clips of, a library that you can get access to features as well as breeds and rescues and things like that. So yeah, head over to the Cat Show Live, and I think Bev might put a link in. It's very, very cheap. It is £47 or £57 for the year. So that's really, really good, and that gives you a live access as well. So have a look at that. You're welcome, Dominic. Sorry, I rambled on a bit there, didn't I? But I just wanted to give you an honest answer. Strat, your kitty is horribly picky and demands specific lousy foods. The more you actually pander to that, the more they're going to train you. So I think it's really good to get your cat's palates as varied as possible. So they'll have different brands one day, so you don't have the same brand every day, and that's regardless of whatever you feed. I always say, go and feed the best that you can afford. Just don't ever feed your cat dog food because it's cheaper, because all the nutrients aren't in there. Terry, hi there. What age and personality of cat is best for an old person is not always in good health? That's a really, really good question. I would definitely avoid a kitten, because if the caregiver is more senior, kittens are very, very active and they could trip them up. So that could be a health hazard. So I would probably look to get a cat around about 9, 10, something like that. And the rescue centres will have many, many cats in there. And you know what would be ideal? If as humans age and they have cats, sometimes the cats outlive the humans, and very often in rehoming centres you can see a beautiful dear cat, and it will say the owner has passed away, and they've perhaps been a lap cat, they've been used to the quiet, sedate life of an older person. That would be the most fantastic cat to have, and these cats do exist. So that's what I'd suggest. A cat that's you'll know the health and the background of the cat. It's really important though to find out the history of the cat. No good if it's been feral, it's been a farm cat, and somebody's just brought it in off the street. You want to know the history of the cat, and if it has been an older person's cat, then that would be brilliant. So ideally, if it's lived with a caregiver, again, would be brilliant, rather than just living with other cats. Um, so and personality of cat, again, just a nice steady cat. That if the older person isn't very good mobility wise, then it may be best to have a cat that can go outdoors. Or if they can bend over and do litter trays, then obviously it can be an indoor cat. So think about that as well. Why does my cat nose run when he's making biscuits, Luna B? They dribble a lot. So, and obviously, just like us, their throat and their nose, ears, nose, throat, are all connected. So basically, he's salivating, or she is salivating, and the nose is dribbling as well. So it's just really, really nice. They're self-soothing when they do that. A tabby or tuxie would be great. There's lots of misconceptions that a particular cat is going to be a different type of personality. It's they call them, what is it, a tortitude, and it isn't. Cats are cats. They have. It's like saying the generalization that all people who have red hair have got tempers. They haven't. But tabby cats are tabby cats, and you can have a whole range of personality types who are tabby cats, and vice versa. But I guess it makes great articles, doesn't it, to say that all black cats are connected to witchcraft, and black cats are evil spirits, and it's that sort of thing. So no, it doesn't matter. A cat's a cat, and if it's the great type of personality, then that's great. Do you know what, Strat? I've had orange cats that are, well, all my orange cats have been lovely actually, but then all my cats are really affectionate. So I don't know whether I've just been lucky, or whether I've just conditioned them to be, in a way that I don't force myself on them. Everything is with consent, and then they just, happy. Adopt a senior cat nobody wants. Yes, Strat. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate that. This is a very good chat. I'm glad you like it. Bev, you've been called a witch with your black cat. How rude. Fancy saying things like that. Strat, your boyfriend has two awesome black cats. I put a video on, Bev, you saw it, didn't you, with Radish. This is the first time in about, 30 years. That gives you an indication how old I am. In 30 years that I haven't had a black cat. And I put a video on of Radish, my big fluffy black cat. And I put videos of an old video that I put on, and he's there, and I was like, oh gosh, I do love black cats. And I've had a tortie. Radish's half sister was a tortie, a dark tortie, and she was adorable. Yeah, Jeff, that's right. Your point of reference isn't as broad. So I've had all colours, and I think it's just down. Obviously, it's down to genetics. It's nature and nurture, actually. How affectionate a cat is going to be, and even if you get a feral cat, Radish was a feral cat, and he took a long, long time, and he'd never jump up onto my lap, but he would eventually, towards when he was in his senior years, he would jump up next to me, and he was lovely. A grey seal cat. It was more like a dog than a cat. Oh. Why does my cat love to play water a lot? She's calico European. Some cats actually really do like water, and I advocate giving them water as part of their enrichment. So I've got a proper kiddie pool. I don't know whether it's in this box or another one. No, typically it's in the box that I haven't got out, but it's basically about this big, little plastic pool. And I put little bits of toys in there for them. Anything that will float basically will go in there. And you can even get these little battery operated fish that can go in there. And that stimulates them. It's enrichment. If you think about cats that find a pond, there's a breed of fishing cat, isn't there, that will literally get the fish out of the water. So that's something that you can do for enrichment, and again, it's great for hydrating them as well. So I think it's a good idea to put water as play. If you've got a water fountain, make sure you've got a really solid one, because I had a discussion with some other peers yesterday about water fountains and how easy some cats will take water fountains apart. So make sure you've got a really good one. I've got I've got a couple actually. I've got a couple of nuggets, and I've got the Pet Libro one. And I know, Bev, you've had the Pet Libro one as well, haven't you? Why does your cat lick your hands and fingers? Well, so this could be for a couple of reasons. It could be that you've handled something that the cat likes the taste of, or the smell of, actually, more likely the taste. So that, because cats eat with the noses, not literally, but the smell of something will drive a cat to eat. So if you've picked something up on your hand that the cat likes the smell of, it'll want to take that off you. It could be that you've handled something that the cat doesn't like, and therefore it wants to take that scent away and transfer his scent or her scent onto you. And it could just be affection, because cats bond with each other by grooming, allo grooming, and transferring their scent on. And it's a way that they do that with their family members. So it could be any one of those reasons, but either way, it just makes sure that you haven't handled garlic or something like that and letting your cat lick garlic or onions, because that's really, again, going back to toxicity, that's really toxic. And there's a pet poison helpline as well. So it might be worth familiarizing yourself with things that are toxic for your cats, and then you know what to do. I've always got activated charcoal in my emergency vet bag, just in case, because that's something that will help. But your vet would advise on that. Your cat's called Inky, and it means pearl in Turkish. Oh, lovely. I've been to Turkey quite a few times, and the Turkish fan cats, they are renowned for loving water. And the Angoras as well, they love water. And all the Turkish cats are lovely. And the way that the Turkish people care for their cats, they have brilliant trap, neuter, return programs. And yeah, they really love their cats over there. Brilliant. Strat's got Ming Ming, wife named her. It means cat in, is it Tagalog? Oh, fantastic. Ming Ming. I like that. David, hello. The question is, dry food or wet food better for an overweight cat? I need my cat to lose weight. Wet. I would actually feed both, to be honest. I would look at the way that you're feeding the cat. So instead, if you're just feeding your cat in a bowl, then bin the bowl. I'm always saying that. Get yourself a licky bowl like this or something similar. And this has got lots of spikes. Can you hear them? In there, mash the wet food, small portions, mash the wet food into there. And always play, if you can, play before feeding your cats, get those energy levels up, and then give them the food afterwards if they'll have it, and mash it in, and then make the cat work for the food. So then when you come to give afterwards, get some hide and seek feeders, or just get little anything, crunchy paper, anything with bits of food in, dried food. And you can get the satiety blend, which has got more fillers in it, so there's less calories in there. That would be really good. So then the cat has to go around the house and hunt for the food. You can do that with like little toilet rolls, or you can, these are proper hide and seek feeders. These are Doc and Phoebe. And literally you'd put a bit of kibble in there, you'd weigh it out, and you'd hide those around the house. But your cat isn't going to go and find them straight away. You have to sort of get your cat to relearn that this is where your food is, and you have to go and find it. So you put it next to where the food bowl used to be, and then the mouse would move, and hopefully they'd use their nose. So they're going to be working more to get the food. And again, you can top these up at several times during the day. And then this is the bit of paper I was after. So scrunch up just loosely like that, some kibble in there, and you can hide that around the house as well, or put them in other places. The cat's got to work to get them. And then I don't know whether you were around earlier when I mentioned, David, the not puzzle feeders, the snuffle mats again. Something like this is a dog one. You can get them from Amazon. You start off with it open, and you can put all the bits of kibble in there. Obviously, these are no good for wet food, but that would be great. So, in short, to answer your question, I would be doing both. I'd get a satiety brand of the dried food, and I'd get a high quality protein wet food, but less of it, and get your cat to move more. If they'll have it, yeah, absolutely, Terry. Yeah, so it's if cats will eat the food, then they're difficult, because some cats will starve themselves. So again, it's just introducing, because they're suspicious of change. You've got to introduce it very, very slowly. So don't just, and also you could get gastric upset. So make sure, if you're actually going to be changing your cat's food, do it over 7 to 10 days, and then they won't be as suspicious either. Spicy baby return. Yeah, I love Turkey. Such a fabulous country, and the people are amazing. So if anybody, Spicy Baby, born and raised in Belgium, very, very nice. Yeah, if anyone gets the chance to travel to Turkey, do go, because it is absolutely amazing. And you see lots of really lovely, well looked after cats as well. Yeah, Luna, play with a cat before food. And what Bev has just said, hunting instinct. If you go back to watch some of the other videos that I've done for cats.com, I go into detail about the play sequence, which we think is play, but it isn't. It's a prey sequence. So a cat will start off by watching. It will go outside. It will watch the birds. It will look out for what its prey. It'll find its target. It'll stealthily stalk its target. It will pounce and catch it if it's lucky, and then it will manipulate it and toss it around, and it'll be having a lovely play with it. And then cats being cats will watch the prey just try and get away, and the cat will be there looking around like this, saying, I'm not really bothered about you. And then they'll watch the prey just out the corner of its eye, move away a bit more. Have you seen them with a spider like that? And then they'll go bang, and that's it. Then they'll deliver the death kill, and then they'll eat it. So when you play with your cats, you're actually just being pseudo prey for them. So that's why you would deliver the food after playing, because that is the natural sequence. But that's in depth in other ones. Any tips how to play with 2 cats at a time? One dominates and the other one wants to play but hangs back. They are littermates, been like this all of their lives. So there's not such a thing as domination in cat hierarchy. We have more confident cats, and we have less confident cats. And what you've got there, you've got a more confident cat, Luna, and a less confident cat. And the secret here is to offer them solo play. That's really, really crucial. So if you can imagine, you're in a classroom and you've got a really, really brainy kid, and the teacher's asking questions, and the kid's putting his hand up all the time, and the teacher's saying, yeah, Billy or Freddie, and Freddie and Billy answering all the questions, and the less confident members of the class aren't getting a chance to answer the question and to learn. So if a teacher then did a one-to-one, then you would feel more confident to be able to ask a question, and that's the same for cats, really. So and making sure you have solo play is really, really important. And then you can have parallel play in other things. So if you're playing with a wand in particular, then these should always be solo play, because the more confident cat is always going to be jumping for that wand first, and the less one is just going to be hanging back, just like you've said, and they'll just feel like that kid that can't answer the question in class. So offer solo play. What you could do is take one off in one room and do this sort of thing. The other one could be watching cat TV, and then swap them over. The other one could be foraging in something like that. So there's plenty of different things that you could do, but definitely work out a play routine where you've got solo and parallel play for both of them. So something like these are great for parallel play, because you can put all sorts of things in here. Where is it? There. So in here, little knitted goldfish. How cute is that? That could go in there. You could have matatabi sticks that can go in here. There's a gall fruit on that one. You can have a little bit of cheeky catnip as well. If the cats don't get too fizzy on catnip and they get on, that will be brilliant. Spicy Babe, you regularly oh, sorry, nice chat. See you, Terry. See you next time. That's lovely. Yeah, I'll be back next month. Go and have a look at the other videos as well. You regularly visit Turkey. Was thinking of bringing her to Turkey this year, and I did some research what she should get a vaccine, but I don't know if the whole trip. Oh gosh, yeah, most definitely. If you're in Belgium, Spicy Babe, I'd leave your cat at home. Definitely. Unless you definitely have to travel with the cat, and then think about the amount of time that your cat's going to, if you're going to be away somewhere for a month or 6 weeks or more, then it might be beneficial to take your cat. But if you're only going for vacation, then it's probably not worth upsetting your cat, because they're very, very territorial, and they like the consistency and predictability of their routine. Cinema 712, hello, you've got your first cat from the SPCA. You love her. This is Basil. He's such an old man. Do you know what's going to be sad? One day Basil's not going to be here. That's very sad. She had a life outside before. She's fine inside, but always wants to go out. With my dog, she comes back easily. Vet says keep all cats indoors. Cinema, it's a very, very emotive subject, this. And again, I just think all my cats are indoor cats, but that doesn't mean to say that I am pro indoor or against outdoor cats. It's just you have to think about where you live, what the traffic situation is, how many cats are about in the population, have they been an outdoor cat before, or have they always been an indoor cat? So you've got to literally think about your set of circumstances, okay? Don't listen to anybody else. Do what is right for you, but more importantly, do what's right for the cat, because you have a duty of care to look after that cat, and you are making the decision for the cat. So, I mean, a gold standard for me would be have a catio outside, or access to a pet safe garden with something like Protect a Pet that we have in the UK, that makes it a cat safe garden, like the tiger fences like you see in safari parks and things. So that would be the gold standard, and then your cat's safe and you don't get other cats in. Bev, can you just share the socials? Spicy Babes loves the energy of the life. Oh, thank you. You should see us on a Saturday morning, Spicy Babe. We're raring to go. We're full of coffee. Hannah, your cats have been chasing each other aggressively at night. Do you have any tips to reduce this behaviour? Again, you could think about if it's more sort of during the night, it could be boredom, that they're not getting enough play during the day. So I'd increase the enrichment. I would think about making sure that they've got plenty of food, that you could consider putting different food puzzle feeders around the home, which obviously is enrichment, but for satiety you could put time feeders and things. And if it is going to be really, really bad and it's keeping you awake, consider separating them overnight, let them have their own little kitty crash, and see if that works. No cat here should ever be outside. Now, I was talking to my friend who now lives in Perth, and they shoot cats in Australia because there's a ban, because so many of the birds and the species are protected. So it is against the law to be outside, for a cat to be outside. And obviously, can you imagine if your beloved cat has escaped? I mean, I'd just be heartbroken, but it is the law, and it is in a lot of countries, not a lot of countries, but in many places. Basil. You've got screened in porches, yeah, they're really lovely. I've got a little catio. Oh, Spicy Babe, thank you. You're downloading TikTok just to follow me. We do. I don't know whether we've done two Saturdays a month or one Saturday a month lives on TikTok, and then one Tuesday a month on here for cats.com. Yeah, the cinema try a harness. Basil's harness trained again. Keep your eye on cats.com channel, because you might find something out about harness training. Puzzle feeders are really, really good, Hannah. I've got, Baz, let me just, I've got some little cardboard cutouts of things. These sort of things are excellent. The Cattic ones. This is good as well. Oh, it should have 4 on there, but basically, if you want to make it harder for the cat, it's a dog toy. You take it off, and the cat has to work harder to get the treats out. Yeah, I've just shown you the puzzle feeders, and there's this one. That's what Hugo was eating earlier. He was trying to get the treats out there. Anyway, guys, people drive crazy. Strap, yeah, they do. Yeah. You've had a baby for 21 years. She'd love to be outside on a chain. Oh, Basil, he goes, yeah, he's harness trained, but he's so doddery now. He just goes out and he doesn't go very far. As long as he can sit in his swinging egg chair, he's absolutely happy. Help, my cat has so many meows. How do I tell the difference? I've got a Russian blue. Well, animal lovers, cats have different vocalizations, but generally those vocalizations are for us, because most of their communication is through body language and not vocalization. But you will, if you have a turn-taking conversation with her, when sort of you'll go, "Hello, are you all right?" and she or he will go, a certain meow back, they're turn taking with you, and they're having a conversation with you, and they will let you know what they want. And the fact, if you can probably interpret what they want, if there's a certain meow for food and you respond to that meow, then your cat will always deliver that meow when it wants food, because you've responded to it before. It's like if they have a different cry for attention and you respond to that, then they will deliver that each time. So cats are really, really clever at working out what they need to do to get us to do with them what they want us to do. And I think Bev put further up, they are Jedis. They are Jedi masters, because they can train a huge human to do what they want, and they're 4 kilograms, and they can train us to do anything. Well, guys, I've been rabbiting on for over an hour, and I have done longer because obviously I was silent. It was like one of those black and white movies. It was picture and no sound. My husband would say that was his ideal night in with me. So last question from Spicy Babe, because you've been lovely today, asking lots of questions, and Bev's already answered it for you. Perfect. So listen, everyone, I do keep your eyes peeled on the channel, because it will be when the next live is going to be, but it will be on a Tuesday and it will be in April. So yeah, Jeff, it was lovely. I really enjoy doing these chats, and the questions have been awesome. If anyone's got any questions that they want to, if they're watching this on catch up, then put it in the little chats, and I do keep checking back for about 2 weeks. And then if you've got nothing else to do, or you want somebody to send you to sleep, go and watch the other videos as well. And it's a bit like ASMR. I'll send you to sleep. Anyway, meow for now, everybody. And thank you, Team B. Bev, you've been amazing as always. You're absolutely superstar. And I'll see you all next time. So take care, everybody.